Hi everybody, Greg here with two old guys from Crossbows, and it's a balmy one here today. It's 29 degrees with a west-northwest wind at 13 kilometers, humidity's 31%, she's heading for 30 degrees, and that's Celsius. So that's probably around 84, I think, in Fahrenheit for you people in the States. But today we're going to take a look at the Benjamin Maximus PCP budget air rifle. I bought the kit, was on at Cabela's, and a big shout to Cabela's in Saskatoon. Love those guys. They're always very helpful. Great place to go and do your shopping. But anyways, the kit they have is on for $4.99. I just missed a sale, and they actually gave me the sale price on it at $4.49, so I saved $50. And well, we'll have a look at it and you'll see what it comes with. I also bought a very affordable Stoger scope, 3 to 9 power, and I put that on there. The scope was $71 Canadian, and that $4.99 that Cabela's has the kit on for right now is also Canadian dollars. So let's get to looking at that gun. Well, let's take a look at the Benjamin Maximus kit that Cabela's is selling. It comes with the Maximus comes without a scope. I mounted this scope on after. Nice looking good, black synthetic stock, rubber shoulder rest. Safety is down on the trigger down here. I removed the rear sight, which is right here, to accommodate for the 44mm scope that I put on. Comes with the gun, hand pump, a little spinner you can put out in the backyard to shoot. This is just a sticker that goes on here. Believe me, it doesn't last long. I'm going to flip this around. I'm taking a few shots at the other side, and yeah, the sticker disappears. This little rack that the gun is resting on, I made because, now a few of the things that I don't like, this pump comes with a gauge in the front, but a little short, about 10 inches of hose here, which obviously I cannot put on the floor and pump my gun up on the gun rest, and I can't do it up here on the table because it takes a fair bit of pressure to pump this gun, or pump this pump to fill that gun. Each fill takes about 50 pumps, but I built this rack so I could set it on the floor and put the gun on it as I fill it. Over, and that way you just pull your fill cap for your quick connector here, have that set on the floor, the pump goes over in front, connects to it, and I can stand and pump the gun. There's a gauge in the bottom of the gun. I don't know how well you can see that. A little bit of shadow happening here. There we go, we'll just tip it. In this rack I just used the jigsaw, cut out some 1x5s, put a little foam rubber in the bottom of the grooves so as not to scratch my gun up, and it just sits in there real nice. some of the things I found about this gun, one thing I didn't like was that short little hose on the pump. Another thing I found was the bolt on this gun is very, very stiff to cock back. It flips up easy, but you have to really reef on this to get it to click. See? You almost got to put your thumb on the back and give it a pull. Come on. And from this angle, I can't even do it. But if I'm behind the gun, I can. And we're going to do an accuracy test of this today. I'm going to try to do 20, 30, and 40 yards with 5 different pellets. Another thing that came in the kit was a tin of pellets. They're called Piranha. They're 14.3 grain, I believe, 5.5 diameter. And you can see the funny cut that the top kind of has on there. They're a style of a hollow point, and they are a lead pellet. Well, you'll see they're fairly accurate at about 20-25 yards, but you get out past that and they drop off and they start going astray. They're not a good pellet for the gun, but they did come with the kit. I picked up a box called Benjamin Discovery, and it has 4 of the Benjamin pellets in it, different styles, and super pointed, domed, and pointed expanded is the third one there. I don't know how well you can see that. And then of course the hollow point. The pointed expanded, I've seen them referred to by other companies that make them as Tomahawk or whatever. And you know, in reality, I haven't found one yet that is worth a hoot. Even at 20 yards, you're lucky to get a group within a couple inches. But we'll see all that in the accuracy test. So let's get to doing some shooting. The scope I bought is a Stoger, and it was $71 Canadian, 3 to 9 power. Here's your focus in the back, but also for when you're shooting, stay out of the light. Just have focusing in on that. But as you can see, your yardage is marked, and this is your quick focus at the end. You just give it a twist for the different yards that you're shooting at. Very nice scope. No scope caps to remove. These do not lock, but your elevation and windage you just adjust as needed. That was $71, and then of course the rings, I just bought the cheap Sun Optic rings. And stuck them on there, they were 20 bucks. Could probably use some better rings. Another thing that I didn't mention when we were going over the gun was the front sight is fiber optic on this gun, and the rear sight that I took off to mount the scope is fiber optic. Another thing I wanted to show about this gun, as I said, the bolt is very stiff. To cock that back, I gotta get my thumb back there and give it quite a pull. But I'm also going to show how much movement this gun has. We're going to set a pellet up on the top, the elevation ring, and we're going to fire one down range. Another thing I'm not fond of is having such big fingers. With the scope on there, it's a little hard to get into the pellet load. But just watch that pellet on top now. There you have it. That's how much movement you get and recoil off that.
Total circle here, side to side, 2 1/4 inches. These dots in the center are 3/4 of an inch. First shots are at 20 yards. Of course, I'm going to be starting at the top and working down. So as you can see, these were those piranhas that came with the kit. And again, the consistency, like there's quite a spread there, shooting low and up. And then these were the Benjamin, those pointed expanding as they call them, or I call the tomahawks. They look a little bit like a red fire, but they're all alloy pellet. And again, this is at 20 yards, you know. And I think some of them you can't even see, they're probably off the paper down there. But we're looking at, 1.5 inches at 20 yards with these pellets. But don't be discouraged, it gets better. Well, I only did a 3-shot group on these at 20 yards just to conserve a little ammo. I have been shooting a bit and my pellets are getting low. But you can see, this was the pointed, this is your dome, and these were the hollow point. Perfect groups at 20 yards. 3 shots, touching. Can't ask for better. And believe me, if I shot 2 more shots on each one, it'd be the same thing. Just punch a bigger hole. But stay tuned, we're moving out to 30 yards. Okay, I've pumped up the gun again just so we don't lose pressure. You get about 20-25 shots on a tank fill. So I pumped it up just to keep things consistent. We're at 30 yards and I'm going to try the pointed, domed, and the hollow point made by Benjamin. Benjamin seems to know what they're doing with this. Their pellets seem to shoot very well, except for their pointed expanding. Not very accurate at all. And I'm not even going to waste my time shooting them out here at 30 yards because you probably won't see them. A lot of them are just all over the place. Again, those dots are only 3/4 of an inch. The total square circle is only 2 1/4 inches. Well, there you have it. Benjamin gun shooting Benjamin pellets. I notice this each time I shoot the first one. Sometimes I get a little bit of a high shot, but the basic group is right here. Like, we're just punching holes here. And this is at 30 yards. This was the pointed, domed, and of course the Benjamin hollow points. And these are all the Benjamin pellets. Now we'll move out to 40 yards. 40 yards. there you have it. These are your pointed. A little bit of a drop on them at 40 yards. This is the domed. Shooting very nice. Probably center to center, less than an inch. You got to remember these circles are only 3/4 of an inch, so about the size of a nickel. And this was the hollow points. Again, a little low, shooting a little bit right. This one was probably me. But yeah, quite impressed, quite happy with the Benjamin PCP Maximus. For an entry-level PCP gun, I'm quite impressed. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. So please, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and press on the fox, I think he's over here, to subscribe. Don't miss the next video. I'm putting one up soon, doing some fun shooting with the Benjamin Maximus. Don't miss it. Just subscribe, press the bell, get all the notifications. See y'all soon.